Hi guys, this is Dimitrios from Vehicle Aftermarket Installations on site, and we're gonna install a VIOFO A229 Plus 2-channel. So I have lots of inquiries, lots of you asking me how to run the cable nicely over here. So we're gonna put the camera up on top right here, and then we have to run the cable from this point, okay, all the way inside here and all the way to the front to meet the first the main camera. So in order to do that, we have to run the cable nicely through these rubber grommets. We have a very good example on this car because we have this rubber grommet. Usually most of the cars actually, they do have something like this, okay, so you can run the cable inside here. I will show you how. Also, some other cars, they are not having this kind of rubber grommet. They do have something like that. So when you have something like that, it is good to have this rubber moved a bit, and then you will find some pressure points on here. So if you have something like that, you have to press to find these small, you see right here, these clips. Push these clips and then take this out. The same thing right over here. So you have to remove both of them to give you the flexibility of running the cable in through this. So the majority of the cars, they do have a cover like that, except the Land Rover, Range Rover, Evoque and all this stuff, which actually you have to run the cable from the side. They're not very friendly, I can tell you. So either you pull out this one like that, they are clipped. So you can see you have clips right here, which they are clip on right there. So you have to remove this, and then in order to run the cable, you use a big zip tie, which is pretty flexy. You put some tape, and then you have to bring it out here. So in order to do that, you move a bit the holster right here. You don't need lots of clearance, so you have to run this cable from inside here. As you can see, okay. So now spray just a little bit silicone, so it will help this cable run through. So you put this through and voila, ready. And just a little bit, so it will go back where it was from the factory. So as you can see right here, the same thing you will do with this kind of rubber grommet housing. And be careful, don't break the clips. So now you're ready. Run the cable properly right here. And bring it out. Just a little bit spray. And place the rubber grommet nicely.
Perfect.
So now, take out this. We're ready to place the the rear camera right here. So as far as I can see right here, we don't have any tinting. The tinting actually comes from the factory. So we're good to attach the camera inside here, I mean on the windscreen. Be careful because these lines, it's called the heated windscreen. So do not place this on a heated line. This becomes very hot. So when you have to defog the rear windscreen and you touch the button at the front, these lines are producing heat in order to clean up any moisture at the rear windshield. So be aware of that. Glass cleaner, clean up a bit. And then place the camera exactly as it shows right here. As you can see, rear camera. So you have to put it that way. So this is the middle of the car. And placing it right there. And this is adjustable, so it will show exactly from the right angle. So you can adjust it later on if you want to. And then you connect this one and put back the cover. So you have now the rear cover on, your camera is on, nicely placed from that. So now we have to run this cable to meet the front device, the front camera, which it will power the rear camera. The front camera powers the rear camera. So what we have to do right now, we have to run this one all the way to the front. And I will show you on the side, 99% of the times, all the cars, they are coming with side airbags. So we have to place this cable, this wire, behind. So when, in an unlikely event of any accident, the side airbags must deployed, so they're deployed that way. So the cable has to be on the side, so when the airbags will be deployed, it will go down. It will go down. You can't place the cable on the airbag, and that's for the front, where we have to go behind the airbag to the front. Okay, so we have the same thing right here. We're gonna place the cable like that. It's very easy. So right here on the side, we have to move just a little bit the cover. Use a pry tool like that. So you will come right here and then go like that. So you almost finish at the back. So there is a pry tool, actually it comes with the camera, a small pry tool. This one, it's very handy to do your job. So right here you see you have to pull back the plastic, the rubber. Okay, as you can see right here, everything's just like the factory one. You can't see nothing. So we have to run the cable over here now. Use the pry tool to place the cable inside. As you can see, you can hide it very nicely. Most of the Asian cars are very are like that, and you don't need to do anything. Whereas if you find there are some Audis, Volkswagens, Mercedes-Benz, you have to pull out this because the upholstery, you know, the roof lining and the covers on the sides, they are very tight, and you can't do that. So it takes much more time. So on the side now, come on the side. On the side we have these rubbers. Okay, so you move these a bit, and then you will bring your cable. So right here now, I will show you just a little bit. Here it is our, come closer, it is our airbags. Can you see that? This is our airbags. Okay, so the airbags are hidden right over here. So now we have to place the cable on top of the airbags. So we have to place it on the top of the airbags, like that. Can you see that? Bravo, that's right. So we have to place it on top of them. So when the airbags will deploy, it will come down like that. It's curtain airbags. Okay, so you have to be aware of that. Don't put it in front of them. So the same thing right here. Remove the door, and then we will bring this one over here. So, and here at the front, what you need to be aware, move this one a bit, okay, and then we will place the cable behind. Don't come so close. Yeah, behind the airbag. You see, this is the airbag, and then we have to go right over here and meet the front camera. Okay. So as you can see right here, it is the device. If you come closer, there is the device that, well, let me point out that. You see, that's the explosive device that used when the actual airbag will deploy. So we place the cable on top of that, and we will bring it out from the front, like that. Okay, so we brought the cable from the back. Okay, and now we're gonna place the cable, as you can see right here. Here's the airbag. Okay, and this is where we need to put it behind of the airbag. So we'll put it behind. The front mirror, it is removable, as you can see right here. So you can just push it and take it out. So now we have to remove this one, and we're gonna place our camera right over here, and then we're gonna run the cables inside here, one to the left and one to the right. The right will come down to the fuse box. We'll show you where to connect that, and the other one will come from the side. That's the rear camera. So let's clean up this one. And okay, all the VIOFO cameras, they coming with film, so you have to remove this one. And then if you have a CPL, a circular polarizing filter, you have to install it. The A229 Plus doesn't have the filter standard. You have to purchase it. It is an optional accessory. Whereas the A229 Pro, the A229 Ultra, and the 329 series, even the S, even the old ones, they do have the circular polarized filter. How to install that? So right here you will see a white point on the filter and on the camera. So you have to match that and just push it in firmly. Okay, and then you have to take out the protection film from the filter. Then we have the micro SD card. So either you use an aftermarket, a SanDisk, or the VIOFO one, it is the same thing. So that's a trick right here. So if you try to put the SD card falsely, it will come like that. Do not push it further. That's not the right direction. If your SD card goes in an angle like that, you have to pull it out, turn it around, and push it in nicely. So you see, it goes straight down there, and then you press it in order to lock it in. So it needs a bit, and then you hear a click. So that's the right way to put the micro SD card in. If you try to put it the other side, you will damage the housing inside here, and that's not gonna be nice. So then we have already cleaned up our screen. We have to remove that protection label, and then we have to put it nicely underneath right here. So as soon as you put it right there, you can slide it to the right and take it out. So you can now just press the edges around here to make sure that everything is right, and then you can see, you can take the body, match the 4 pins right here, and start from the right side, okay, and then slide it to the left, and it clicks right there. So right now we have to put our cable. That's the rear camera cable. Okay, so we're now ready to connect the cable to our camera. So right in, underneath right here, what is it? There is a gap over here. So down here there is a gap where we will bring our cables, and we have to run it from the side right there. Okay. So in order to do that, we're gonna move a bit the plastic cover in order to get behind of the cameras. And connect it to the camera. We place the cable right over here and bring it. Can you see that from there? Yep. Huh? Yeah, nice. So we place the cable right over here. So right here, it's good to get a couple of zip ties on the way, and that will help to make the cable not falling down when you're driving. So use a couple of zip ties. Okay, and now with the pry tool, pull back a bit the upholstery and hide the cable on top. When it comes right there, as you can see, the cable is just behind of the airbag. Now the excess cable, we're gonna put it right here. We're gonna use some zip ties. It's good to use zip ties because they are permanent solution. Actually, they won't go nowhere. The excess cable will be nicely, it will hold. give it a bit air, and now we're gonna place this cable all the way down. So now we secure the excess cable, and we have to put back the cover. Just like that. So this, we finished this one, nice and tidy, with hidden cable from the rear camera. Now we're gonna connect the power point, which is up on top right here, and we're gonna run it down to the fuse box. Some of the fuse boxes on the cars, it is on the right side, some of them on the left side. Just have a look before you run the cable which side is the fuse box in order to get power. Okay, now we have to connect the power point. So the power, it comes from the hardwire kit. The hardwire kit, HK4 for this kind of cameras. We have the HK3, HK4 and HK6, the Bluetooth one for 329S. So what do we have right here? We have the HK4. So the hardwiring kit, it is a module where it will allow to run in parking mode until the battery voltage from the car reaches a certain point. So right here we have 11.8, 12, 12.2 and 12.4, which is we can decide which one we have to go with. Okay, so for the cars that they are coming with no battery box, we strongly recommend to go 12.2 or 12.4 volts. This is where it will stop taking power from the car battery. That will protect the car battery of going flat. So for example, if you set this up lower on 11.8 or 12 volt, majority of the times, either your car it is a hybrid or it is an electric car, fully electric, or even the new generation cars, we actually heard that lots of customers complaining about drawing power from the car battery when you do not have that on 12.2 or 12.4. We actually repair, let's say, we readjust some of them from people that they didn't know that, specifically the BMW, Mercedes-Benz, BYD, Ion, all the new cars, they will come with a message on the board that lots of accessories are disassembled or something like that because the battery voltage is too low. So you don't want to do that. If you have a battery box, you can go down to 11.8 because the battery box actually powers up the dash camera, not the car battery. But if you use only the car battery, set it up on 12.4 or 12.2 right over here. So you can see right here, there is a small micro switch. So that's 12.4 at all the end. And then one step down, it is 12.2. Okay, so that will protect the car battery of going flat. Now, we have to run the cable all the way up to the camera, the USB cable, USB-C that goes to camera, and the other one, the other end actually, we have three cables. We have the battery, the red one, it needs power 24/7 from the car battery. And we have the yellow one, which is the ACC, stands for accessory power. So this, we have to find the fuse that it is powered when we turn the ignition or the accessory on. so it will trigger the camera. And the other one, of course, it is the ground. The GND, the black cable, has to go somewhere grounded on the car. So in order to do that, as we said, we have to find where is our fuse box. So in this car, in this Subaru, most of the Subarus actually, they have the fuse box right over here. So there is a hub right here. As you can see, all the fuses are right over here, whatever it is associated with them. As you can see right here, there is a 7.5 amp ACC. This, we have to use this one for our yellow cable. So these are this is how a fuse box looks like. Let me bring some light. So this is how a fuse box looks like. Okay, so we have to run the cable from inside here all the way up to the top to power up the dash camera. So we'll remove the side rubber. We'll open this, and now we have to pull out this plastic cover. So now we're gonna run the cable behind here, nice and clean. And now we have to go up on top and connect it to the camera. Same as the left side, we have another airbag here. Okay, we're gonna run the cable behind the airbag. Be careful, behind the airbag, just like that. So we connect the cable. Now we have to hide it up on the upholstery, just like the other side. I'm gonna put some zip ties along the way so it will keep it up on top. Okay, we're on the cable. Nice. We came from that hole right here. We secure it right there. And now we're gonna put back the rear view mirror. Rear view mirror is position, and now we have to secure the cable with the factory harness that goes down there and connect it into the fuse box. Let's do that. Okay, we secure the cable with zip ties, and now we have to push it in just like that and put back the side just like that. And hide it nicely right there. So now is the point where we have to connect the cables. So the ground has to go in metal, just like that. We need to attach it somehow like that. So remove any screw that it is close to a raw metal. Be careful, don't touch somewhere that it is painted, because sometimes it's gonna be a bad earth. So we need to secure that the earth is good. In order to secure that the earth is good, we're gonna need a tester. Well, this will show actually right here how many voltage we have, which is just a little bit advanced, but you can use any tester. So right here, we're gonna put our negative, okay, and then we will try to find within the fuse box a fuse that it is fully powered. If you have a cup like that where it will show what all the fuses are, it's very helpful. So right here you will see which fuse it is assigned to whatever. Be aware, do not touch any yellow fuse that it is, you know, have an SRS airbag sign, or any yellow connector in the car. The yellow connectors are associated with the SRS airbags. If you disconnect any of them, it will come up a sign, you know, a small, you know, light on the dashboard where it will show you that it is the airbag. If you have an airbag light on, you have to have in mind that in an unlikely event of an accident, the airbags will not be deployed. So you risk your life with that. Be careful, do not touch any of the yellow connectors or any fuse that it is signed, I mean, it has a yellow sign. So we have right here the ACC 7.5 amps up on top to the right, and then we have the unit B plus. This is always powered, and the ACC, it is when you turn the ignition on. So let's gonna find this one, because this is the right thing to connect the red one with an add-on fuse, which is something like this. We will have the appropriate add-on fuse. We'll have a look what we need. So let's gonna find this one, which the diagrams here says that it is up on top. So if we touch here, you have power. As you can see right here, it is battery plus. So we're gonna find out what kind of fuse is that, and we're gonna have the right add-on fuse in order to get power for our dash cam. So we pull out the fuse, the 10 amp, and the 7.5 amp, the ACC. So we found out that this kind of fuses, they need this kind of add-on fuses. So the add-on fuse is a fuse tab where we'll put the 10 amp in this section right here below. So this actually, it is the same thing like this fuse, it goes on the fuse box. And then we're gonna have power up on top right here, the output for our dash cam. So we're gonna put a 5 amp fuse, it is more than enough. Well, if you have bigger one, you will not have any issues because it will be protected by here, but 5 amp it is more than enough. So this one, we have to connect it to the battery cable. So in order to connect to the battery cable, we strip it out a bit. And then we're gonna put this one inside here and crimp it in. So this now, it is ready to go on the position that it was before, and will take power for our camera. So we plug it in. Now We have power right here. How we can check that? If we pinch a bit the cable, we have power to the red cable. So now accordingly, we're doing exactly the same thing for the yellow one. Strict a bit. We're gonna have another fuse up. 7.5, it is the original one from the car factory. Plug it in. 5 amp for our dash cam on top, and then put it inside here, crimp it with a tool and place it where it was the other one. So right now we have our black cable right here on the chassis, and right inside there we have the 2 add-on fuses. So the excess cable, we're gonna put some zip ties and place it nicely in the fuse box. Well, now it is secured in our fuse box. Put everything back. And now we're ready to test it. So the installation completed. We have front and rear camera, and now we are going to test it. So if our calculations and everything that we've done is right, it will come up now. We have a light, which is a very good sign, and we have our camera powered. So for first time we have to set up the language. You push this middle button, is the OK, and then you go. For Brisbane it is +10, GMT +10, OK, and time and date set up. So we have kilometers per hour, and we have to do a format on the card.
Memory card format successful.
So as soon as you format the card, you can see the rear camera is right here, the feed, and the front camera is right here. Both cameras are adjustable, so you can.
Recording 2 channels started.
As you can hear the prompt, recording 2 channels started. That means that we've done a good job, and we connect both cameras so it is identifiable from the main camera right here. So this button actually is the Wi-Fi button. So if you press it, you have to download the app and customize it, or you can see all the logs that it is inside the camera. Either it is parking mode or anything else. So as for the parking mode, you can go into the menu. In order to go into the menu, you have to stop recording and go into the menu. So you go to video settings and system settings. On video settings, you're going in and you have to go to the parking recording right over here. Click OK, the parking mode. So you have the time lapse, low bitrate recording, and auto event detection. So either you go low bitrate recording and it will record all the time, or you can choose the auto event detections, which it will be triggered if any event occurs. Okay, so you go back. And if
Recording 2 channels started.
If everything is right, you will hear that prompt, and then when you turn off the ignition, you have to wait a bit.
Parking recording started.
That's right. So if you hear that prompt, everything is connected properly, and now the car, while it is in you know, it's not on, nothing is on because we turn off the ignition or the accessory, the camera will keep recording if any event occurred. Thanks for watching.